Good morning, beautiful people. How are you all doing today? I hope you're well. I am, because we've got a bit of brightness today, a bit of lightness. Oh, what a difference. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to get up to today. I hadn't been planning to go to the garden, but because it's so bright, I may just. Anyway, let's get on with the calendars. Oh yes, so yesterday, what was it? The Jean-Paul Sartre drama, Ou la fille du tonnerre. I was thinking of terre for earth, ground. Tonnerre is not earth, it's thunder. So it's all the son of the thunder. Anyway, yes, I looked it up. A little bit of French practice, good stuff. So, where are we? December the 9th. 10th, 11th, 12th. In 3 days' time, I'll be halfway through my calendar. Oh, no, let's do the little one first. Number 9. This, even with so many windows open, this is still quite challenging. There we go. Over here. Let's have a little look. What is it? You're singing, I'm not. What is that? Oh, it's another little angel. Another little angel to go with the one we had on the second suite. Do you know, I'll probably keep this, close all the windows and use it again next year. It won't take up much space, will it? But now for the main show. Oh, there's number 9 straight away. Straddling green eggnog and ham. Oh, good old Dr. Seuss. Oh, it's a fiddle. What have we got? Thomas Nast's cartoons of Santa Claus for Harper's Weekly in the late 1800s appear to have been the first depictions of Santa Claus wearing a red suit. Would you Adam and Eve it? I know I think a lot of us, this is another one that's been on QI, a lot of us associate that kind of red and white, the red suit with the white fur trim, we associated with that certain soft drink. I had heard that the way we depict Santa with the red and the white was not down to that soft drink company, that it had come earlier, but I had never known where. So there we go. It's from a cartoon by Thomas Nast in Harper's Weekly in the late 1800s. Wow. I think before then, wasn't he depicted in green? Wasn't he more of, not a green man, but more of that kind of forest, out there in nature, benevolent person? I'm not sure. But I think he was in green before he was in red. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yay, fab. Well, that was a quickie this morning, wasn't it? It hasn't prompted any book thoughts, apart from green eggs and ham, or green eggnog and ham. I've never had eggnog. It's funny, isn't it? It's one of those, it's definitely a Christmassy drink, isn't it? I was kind of joking about it a few days ago with a friend to say, oh, we should get together for an eggnog. And she said, obviously we wouldn't be getting together for that anyway because I'm in my social bubble with Richard and Paul. But she said, what does it even taste like? I've never had one. And I said, nor have I. Does it have egg in it? I've got no idea. I've got to say, the idea of a drink with an egg in it, that kind of gelatinous-y kind of, oh no. I'm not going to talk about it anymore because otherwise I'm in danger of making myself properly gag. So on that note, I'm going to hand you over to Vivi. I don't know where she is, but she's up to something else for a bit of video clip for today. Here she is. Can you hear that? A little bit of building noise has just started up, as per usual, but I almost feel like I should whisper today because this quiet, that little rattle, it's Rusty going in the shed, but a beautiful quiet and stillness has descended across the whole site. Hey buddy. There's not a soul here. The sun is just trying to shine a few rays. It's just gone 1 o'clock and the sun is just about to disappear over there. I'll show you with this finger. In summer at 1 o'clock it's behind where you are, way high. But it's that lovely thing in the winter, isn't it, when the sun is low, how that light catches on things in a different way. It almost puts things into more relief. So as I look that way across the site, the trees, most of them are bare now, but the ones with the last few leaves on, you really get a sense of the size of the trees and the depth of them from their outer branches right into their trunks. There's a big tree behind me, just up there, with a load of starlings roosting in it. I've not known starlings around here much before, but all sorts of other birds today. I've seen blue tits, great tits. I'm not very good on chaffinches, but 2 different types of chaffinches. I could do the little ID book in the shed. We have got ID charts in our communal sheds, but I can't be bothered walking over there. Yeah, so a couple of different chaffinches, jays. I always see jays here, which I was just looking up there, it's just a wood pigeon. Jays always seem really sort of beautiful and exotic because of that beautiful flash of blue on their wings, with that sort of, they've got that sort of dusky dark pink tone almost. Jays, yes. Magpies. Haven't seen any woodpeckers today. We do get both the spotted and the green here. The green, I love the green. Professor Yuffle pecking along my paths. Who's that flying in now? So yes, I've been just enjoying a quiet half hour of just sitting, listening, taking it all in, going against my usual natural urge to always be doing something. But like I said, at the end of November, this is, I'm not going to say it's the new me, but I'm definitely trying to make the most of outdoor time, make the most of getting a bit of light, of having quiet, of having slow things. Oh, it's lovely. Anyway, before I wax lyrical for the whole afternoon, my chair's broken, it's right on the wonk. I don't know if you can tell from there, but it's proper wonky. Anyway, so I'm going to do a little bit of planting today. I've got a few of the leftover freesia bulbs that Paul gave me. Thank you, lovely. I've got this little trough. It's not a huge one, but I'm thinking of popping some of them in there. And then I've got 2 other things that I'm going to put in the trough because I can't decide where to put them in the garden yet. So, very kindly, Paul has given me a couple of sedums. I want to show you this really closely because look at where the buds are coming. You see in there, beautiful little rosettes. Aren't they gorgeous? Absolutely beautiful. Now, I've never grown sedums before, so I just sort of quickly checked with Paul, light, full sun, shade, watering requirements, that sort of thing. Now, one of these is, so also to say, they will get quite large. I think once they're in the open ground, if they're in a bed, they'll probably get to about 1.5 feet tall, but they can get quite floppy too. So it's maybe something to interplant with something a bit more rigid, so the rigid thing can partly hold it up, or plant it but get some sort of little sticks, lash some little sticks together to help to prop it up, unless you like the flopped over look, you know. I think on a patio in a trough with them tumbling over, fine. So the thing with these is, one of them I believe is white and one of them is pink, and the pink is, from looking at it in Paul's garden, it's got a slight yellow tinge. I don't mean it's yellow, I just mean in that kind of colour wheel. Slight yellow tinge to it. It's a sort of dusky, how to describe it? It's not a bright pink and it's not a pastel pink. It goes more towards pastel, but it's definitely got that slight yellow tinge to it. So the pink of it may clash with, because I was thinking about putting one in the herb bed and the other in where I'm going to have my new little teeny tiny flower bed at the end of the deck. But it's that colour of pink which can clash. Likewise, say with the white, I was thinking about putting the white outside the shed, because white flowers, they look great against the shed. When I've had white geraniums, the alyssum, they look really, really lovely in this corner. And in the afternoon in the summer, when it becomes a bit shady, that white really kind of pops out. If any of you have been to Sissinghurst, Vita Sackville West's garden, you'll know about the white garden there. And it's particularly magnificent at dusk, because all those whites glow at dusk. So, yes, I've got a dilemma. I don't know where to plant them. I've hummed and hawed and imagined where to put it in the herb bed. It's a very noisy plane, isn't it? Where to put them in the herb bed, where to put them in my new mini flower bed, where to put them in the trough outside the shed. And the bottom line is, I don't know which one is pink and I don't know which is white. So I thought, for now, put them both in this trough at either end. This trough is never permanent planting, but then I thought I'll let them grow on in this and then let them flower next year. Then I can see what colours they are, and by then I might also have decided on some other flowers for the new mini flower bed, something else for the herb bed. But yeah, once they've flowered, I can decide where they will suit going best. Also, for the herb bed, I'm so excited to try, and I hope it works. In a few weeks, I was mentioning this in the tour video, I think, my tree lily will have died back, pretty much died back completely. Once it's died back, once all the leaves have dropped and the stems have gone dry and brittle, that's when I just cut it off at, I was going to say sea level. Why am I thinking sea level? I'll cut it off at soil level. We are pretty much at sea level here. Actually, no, we're not. We're on a bit of a hill. Anyway, what I'm hoping to do with the tree lily, once it's died right back, is lift it and try and take off a couple of clumps of bulbs. I'm assuming it's grown new bulblets towards the edges of that original bulb, because I've been getting new stems each year. I want to divide it because one of the stems is threatening the path, so I want to divide it for that reason anyway. But also, I do love it. I love it every year, and every year all my plot neighbours and friends and newer plot holders who I don't know so much, every year people come to the garden especially to photograph it. It brings so much joy to me and all my plot neighbours. So what I'm thinking, hoping, is if I can get a little division of it to put it in at the top end of the herb bed, not the Taunton Dean end, not the north side, but fairly close to the cold frame So where I normally stand to show you the shot, we're at the end where I've got the insect drinking station where I'm hopefully going to have a little mini pond. Everything's mini. It's going to be a mini year next year. Mini flower bed, mini pond. But yeah, to put it at the far end of that nice bit of height. Put more than that. Gorgeous, gorgeous flowers. Fingers crossed that can happen. Anyway, so let's get on with this. You know, it's one of those things, this is spent compost in here, but I don't think either the bulbs or the sedums will mind. I can always, if the sedums look like they need it, I can always give them a bit of a feed. I don't think they'll need it. Yeah, no, with the sedums, I don't think they are a plant I would ever have particularly looked at. You know, gone to a garden centre, a nursery and bought for myself. In fact, I don't think they were ever on my radar at all. But Paul's got a lovely clump outside his polytunnel and a few by the shed. And in every video, every video I'd see them and think, they're so lovely. And I think, I'm not sure, Paul may correct me on this, I think they're fairly low maintenance. So, like I say, we'll try them in the trough for next year just to see which one's which in terms of the colour. Give Paul his pots back. Yeah, we'll find out what colour they are and then I can decide on a permanent home for them, pop them in, just let them get on with it. Yay! I've got a ton of freesia bulbs left. And the other thing I'm going to do in a second, oh that's a bit squishy. Yeah, the other thing I'm going to do in a second is, I was mentioning the other day where I'd been away from the garden for quite a few, well, I was going to say a few days, weeks. The Taunton Dean cuttings and the honeysuckle cuttings that are outside the shed they'd got really dry because where the overhang of the shed roof is, they don't really get much rain, but also they're in a seed tray, so it's got holes. So I think what I'm going to do as well is pop those onto the deck. If I do them, oh, maybe in the corners as well. If I put the tray right up next to the fence, that'll give them a little bit of protection from really, really chilly winds. To be honest though, I think his cuttings are all established enough now to not really need any cosseting. I'll pick that up in a second. Yeah, so nice jobs to do. It's just lovely to have a few sit-down jobs. It's always lovely to have a sit-down job. But it's always lovely to plant something. I was saying this when I was doing the original freesias, you know, it's not a time of year when we particularly think about planting. But there are a few bits and bobs we can do. And in another few days, on my next visit, I probably won't be able to visit the garden for a couple of days now, but on my next visit I can start planting out all my lovely broad bean plantlets. I'm so relieved that all the ones in cells worked, the ones that I sowed direct worked, and yeah, I'm definitely going to have enough to give away some to friends, which is even more fabulous. Good. Oh, I just thought, what about squirrels? I wonder if I've got... Oh, I know what I've got. I've got the little... I mean, it's not particularly attractive, but it won't be on for too long. I've got the little bits of mesh panels that I had. If you remember, I had them over the ends of my garlic. I've accidentally put some compost right on the little rosettes, the little growing crowns. I hope that won't bother them. Oops. Can I blow it off? A little bit. Good. Okay, let's pop this on the deck along with those cuttings. I've used the barrow because actually, once the trough is full, it's really pretty heavy. I think, oh, don't trip, Vivi, for now. That. Let's just get you out, shove the barrow out the way a second. Let's find you somewhere snug. I think these are going to get planted. Oh, it's stuck to some sort of fungus. Fungus the bogeyman. Oh, weird fungus. Let's just swap those out. I'm delighted that third bit of honeysuckle, which I was convinced was dead, has lovely signs of life to it. I'm going to leave the tool on just because they're such little babies. I don't want birds coming down and packing them to smithereens. Good. Little jobs. Always so pleasing, isn't it, when we get these little teeny tiny jobs ticked off the list. So now I'm looking at it and thinking, right, what's next? Oh, just while we're here, I'm going to see if I can quick release you from the tripod. Hang on, you're going to wobble a bit. When I was talking about the tree lily, where I'd like to put it, clunk, clunk, clunk. So this is what I meant about this end. Everything is very short and it gradually gets taller. So I'm hoping, where I've got that bare patch of soil for the lily to go there. There's bulbs behind that splash of green, not the calendula, the green behind that is sweet Cicely. Here, this has died back, is my lovage, which should get really quite big. But I think come the summer, it would be lovely if I could get a lily. Imagine a lily growing in there, all tall and elegant and beautiful. The other option was to put it into this, what is going to be in my now little mini flower bed. But, well, I'm going to have the honeysuckle to go up the fence. I've already got the rhubarb in there. And I do want maybe 1, 2, 3 plants in there of, as I was mentioning the other day, something along the lines of Rudbeckia, Echinacea, and one of my sedums. Hopefully, that's what I mean. I've accidentally got compost all over its little rosettes. Oh, I hope it won't mind. I think it's probably quite a tofty little plant. We'll see. So yes, hoopla, pleasing. Tick. Oh, another beautiful day in paradise. And now it's time for me to say cheerio to you all. Actually, let me just wander over here. I want to show this sweet wee thing in my neighbour's fence, hedge, whatever you want to call it. It's just been flowering the last couple of weeks. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that a pretty little burst? Oh, gorgeous. So yes, for now, it's time to say cheerio to you all. Have a lovely day, whatever you're up to. And I will, of course, see you tomorrow for another window on the Advent calendar. Woohoo! Oh my goodness, I'm so enjoying the Advent calendar. I hope you're not getting bored with it. I'm certainly not. Whatever. I will see you then. Cheerio, lovelies.